last round against FC Tulsa. This is the team that Pamadou Ka will send out. 2 changes from the team that played against Colorado Springs. Johnson and Braxton Montgomery into the side.
Urso and Artur look for them to have that right balance, because if they do get on the ball to dictate tempo, that allows that front three to be really aggressive pushing.
In the black shirts and the white shorts, Houston in the orange and white, as we're underway in the 4th round as Phoenix play host to Houston Dynamo. Artur, team MVP last season, 3rd season from Columbus, is on the turn here. It's a strike from Duenas, and Rakowski going against his momentum and saving down to his left.
With the overload for Houston Dynamo, as Escobar is wide, that allows Duenas to come centrally. You need to put more pressure on the attacking player. You cannot allow him that much time and space in the end.
Emil Cuecho. Strong sliding challenge from Escobar, and Houston going again through Siegel, or rather Kowalczyk, playing with Duenas into that area and flicked on, but Lodedo not yet arriving as Siegel saw that window to slide in behind, but the intervention coming in from Cuecho. Bartlow and Ortiz has an option through the middle with Junior Urso, veteran of the Brazilian game and with Orlando City and Charlotte of MLS. Popping up between lines, and a good ball into Siegel, who's fouled off it there. Maybe given as a free kick is Avayevu. He's a bit too aggressive in trying to win it back.
But as Phoenix Rising plays with this single pivot, JP Skiers needs to be very careful when he does step off of his line, because if he is a bit too aggressive, now that allows Houston just to play around him. Siegel comes central, you have a bit of an overload, and now it's a really interesting location for Houston Dynamo just to cause some chaos within this back line of Phoenix Rising.
Barking out in his 6-yard area there, Rakowski. And Lodedo has plenty of space to aim into, but needs a target, will lift it in, and popping up with the header! And there's the goal! Felipe Andrade, the player who's only called into the team earlier today, nods in the delivery from Lodedo, and Houston lead by a 1-0 in Phoenix.
Fantastic delivery from Lodedo, and Andrade does a nice job at keeping himself onside. And when this ball is played, that's when he just plays off the shoulder of every player in Phoenix Rising jersey. There's no...
Houston looking for another from a set piece, whipped in at real pace, and another header on, and this time saved from Rakowski. It was Siegel who worked his way into the space.
A great ball in from Nico Lodedo, but Siegel does a nice job at just getting goal side of Okello. As a defender, you cannot allow this time and space and the better body position to your opposition. Fortunate.
And Rakowski, as he did in the 3rd round, keeping Phoenix in it. As they look to go direct, it's a decent idea. Cutting in. And it runs for Junior Urso. Now Escobar. And that early cutback opportunity, and Siegel again with the header on target, but in that straightforward work for Rakowski.
From Kowalczyk to come century now. That allows Escobar to be aggressive. And this is the type of movements that you need from Duenas. Out one of the 2 center backs and allows Siegel to slash across that near post.
Okello. Get loose there and towards JP Skiers, but can play on here through Cuecho. As that time it's Avayevu's pulled back. A free kick to Phoenix.
As we've seen, Pamadou Ka shift into a 4-2-3-1. Now the responsibility for Avayevu is just to play off with the shoulder of Russo and Artur in those pockets, getting him on the ball in the half turn. Now that allows your front three to be more vertical and more dangerous going forward.
As they try and do just that here through Formella. Lifted in towards that area, and a kind bounce and nearly came for Sacco. Formella still trying to get there. Comes for Artur. Okello, it's a clean win. Noble Okello! Decently struck, but Gillingham dealing with it.
Does a nice job at just hounding this ball in unison. There's a little bit of a hesitation from Okello.
That duel there with Saint and with Siegel does result in the free kick. Leaning himself up against that corner flag is lifted into that back post, and the header's arriving. Terrific save there from Gillingham to deny Skeers, who peeled off his defender.
He plays a bit of a pick, and that allows Skeers to come around the corner, and he does everything right. Tries to head it back to across where it came from, but this is flawless positioning.
Now, the other side, it will be Cuecho to take this subsequent corner in the final minute of the first half. And a bit of carnage in that area, but launched away. Houston will want to arrive at halftime with the lead, as we'll now enter a minimum of 2 minutes to come at the end of this first half. Houston largely in control of the game. Phoenix have had a few moments and had a good chance there from Skeers on the header. Formella coming back to play and skating beyond one and lifting the ball behind. Good idea to Sacco. Gillingham got a touch and eventually dealt with it. A penalty awarded. Isan Sacco going over. And for that contact that arrived, Phoenix with a chance to equalize.
Fantastic run here from Sacco to play off the shoulder of Ortiz, and I agree with Gillingham. He does make the initial contact with the ball. Brave goalkeeping yet again.
And here's Dariush Formella. Keeper the wrong way. Phoenix on terms before the half. They're right back into this fourth round Open Cup tie.
Number 29, Dariush Formella.
First time that we've seen Formella get involved through the run of play, and that allows Sacco to be really aggressive. I love this run up the shoulder, but as Gillingham comes off of his line, he makes initial contact with the ball. But you still have to convert the pen for Formella.
As we'll reach halftime, all to play for in the second half of this round of 32 tie in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. Phoenix won, Houston won at the break. As they're underway with this second half, Phoenix looking for another great night in the history of this stadium. Would be their first ever win against an MLS side. They're level at the break. Duenas.
Good run here.
And Urso into that midfield. First touch heavy, but controls. Decent ball. That low cross comes through. And arriving is Lodeiro. But couldn't sneak it beyond Rakowski at that near post, who made the save.
Deep lying position, but as there's so many options centrally for Houston Dynamo, notice how narrow this Phoenix Rising side is. Post, Rakowski has it covered. Little moments like that, you need to be a tad bit more clinical if you are Houston Dynamo.
And Rakowski, to beg your pardon, did not make a save there. Went into side netting. Now Smith, and taken down there by Kowalczyk just as he was running, and I think the crowd thinks it's only fair that he gets booked as well, and the referee coming off. And we also see Jack McGlynn entering, so a real cavalry arriving situation here. Jack McGlynn, Ezequiel Ponce, Brooklyn Reigns, three players who are regular starters in the side coming in. Artur himself starting every game in MLS, comes off after the hour. And it's the record signing for Houston, Ponce, who comes in. Tightrope to walk in these final 25 minutes of the game.
And more importantly, they have to deal with Ponce now, a true number 9.
He's onto it here, and he's running beyond Saint. He's being held. Ponce looking for the release valve. It's with McGlynn in that penalty area. Brooklyn Reigns struck it sweetly, but well dealt with from Rakowski.
Ponce just used his body, but as he requires so much attention, this ball needs to be slotted across on the ground. You send McGlynn out too wide, and now that allows Phoenix Rising to get players that easy save from Rakowski in the end. Houston Dynamo doing a nice job of getting themselves into the final third, but just not clean enough and not ruthless enough once they get in around that 18-yard box.
Smith with that big switch of play. Escobar's forward from right back. Escobar towards Ponce, deflects into side netting. Carl Saint thrilled its right side of the post, but big chance there for Houston.
Best action that we've seen from Houston Dynamo in quite some time. Love the aggressive nature from Escobar. He's heads up the whole way because you have two options. Ponce makes a nice run off of the shoulder of Skiers, and Saint does just enough to deny this ball back across the 6-yard box.
McGlynn to send in the corner. Plenty of air on this one, and the header was on from Bartlow, and Rakowski had to tip it beyond the post.
Rakowski, because he sees it late, there's a lot of traffic right in front of him to come across to that near post and parry it wide to not allow any second bite at the apple for this Houston Dynamo team. Full extension from the goalkeeper.
McGlynn to deliver from the other side. Into that near post, and the header away. Well, one from Cuejo. Reigns. McGlynn now with his right foot. Plenty of air underneath that one, but Sacco's header clear.
Yard box to test Rakowski.
McGlynn again into that near post. Comes through and it bounces around. Rakowski getting away. Linger to have a go. And it's another corner. Can they get one late? McGlynn in behind, and Linger will get there. Rakowski off his line. He's got to get turn Andre Linger, and he couldn't. And there is the full-time whistle. We are going to extra time in this 4th round U.S. Open Cup matchup. And Felipe Andrade coming out as well.
More direct, and if you do that, now secondary balls become that much more important. The movements of Reigns and McGlynn to come centrally to create an overload.
Good shift into Avayevu, and Sacco in behind, and Sacco is offside. Was denied anyway by Gillingham. A terrific save in that one-on-one moment, but the flag went up first.
Left side of your screen, Bartlow does a nice job at just stepping up at the last second. Sacco's about a yard offside.
Bartlow. Awadesu. Bartlow. And decent space here for Escobar. Delivering to that area, but half-hearted in the end. Not really coming to much.
If you do elect to play that type of ball from Escobar, it needs to be quicker, it needs to be early.
McGlynn trying from long distance. McGlynn! That is an absolute banger from Jack McGlynn to give the Dynamo the lead in extra time. That sweet left boot can deliver some beauties. And McGlynn with a scorcher in the 99th minute of this tie.
Quality through and through from Jack McGlynn. Left footer playing the right-hand side, so he always wants to come centrally. His second touch here is everything. As he pushes.
In this 4th round, Phoenix have given it a go and need to go again. Free kick given as it was Smith taking off it on that far side. The other game going on right now on the West Coast. San Jose 2-0 up on Sacramento Republic. They're down to 10 men in the final 5 minutes of the game, but we'll take some comeback from Sacramento Republic. As it stands right now, only USL side remaining is Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Header in behind. And that strike coming in, it was a decent one as well from Sacco, but from a nearly impossible angle. Dealt with there by Gillingham.
Good effort from Sacco to create something out of nothing, and he hits it well. Notice the technical ability to keep his head and shoulders over the ball. Tries to sneak it into that near post. Gillingham flawless in his positioning, just to cut down the angle and secure hands.
Lifted forward, but Skierce kind of slices through it. Sacco trying to play the bounce. Linger. And there is the halftime whistle of extra time. Still 15 minutes remaining for Phoenix to get back into it, but to win by 3-2. The only upset we've seen tonight, it's Pittsburgh. To the goal from Beto Idrak in the 96th minute of the game. There's going to be a yellow card shown here. Attacked in every direction, but clean win in the judgment of the referee. Throw in to the Dynamo.
Fantastic turn here from Rivera, but as he brings in about 2 players of Houston Dynamo, he needs to get this ball off with his foot. And there is a lot of contact there with Desu, the way that he comes through the backside and the way that this game has been officiated.
Smith wins a free kick off of Ponce. And Smith trying to hit it into Ponce to maybe draw a free kick for time wasting against him, but Smith will just be asked to retake it. Saint and Avievu, it was there for him. McGlynn lifting into space, and Linger's running in behind. The flag will stay down. Andre Linger towards Ponce to finish it. Ezequiel Ponce looks to have put the finishing touch on a 4th-round win. They left it late. They left it till extra time, but the Dynamo look to have gotten over the line. And it's the record signing, Ezequiel Ponce, who makes it 3-1 to Houston.
It's the movement and it's a vision from Jack McGlynn. Linger does a nice job of starting from a deep lying position, and as he picks up his head, unselfish, to feed your team. 50-yard runs to get to the other side of Montgomery. The ball across is flawless. Great goal.
Linger with advantage awarded. Houston might go in search of another. McGlynn, neat turn and plays with Ponce. Well maneuvered. McGlynn again.
Great
Go
ball.
Across into Daniel Steres. And it deflects away. We saw last night in the Open Cup, North Carolina and Charlotte go to extra time at 1-1, but Charlotte ended up winning by 4-1, taking the 30 extra minutes and making it tell. And in some ways it is a story about depth. You think about the players that Houston bring on. It's 2 designated players, another player they bought for over $2 million, and there isn't that sort of depth in the USL side.
That's a difference, right? The players that you're able to bring on for a lot of these MLS managers, the quality that you have all over your roster because budget size as well.
Escobar, well-worked free kick, and again across the face of goal, and it's turned in. Kowalczyk onside, and there is the 4th goal. Houston furthering their advantage. And they look on their way to the 5th round of the Open Cup. A terrific performance in this extra time.
Houston Dynamo
dominating Phoenix now.
It's been patient, and it's having the ability to play off of the blind side of your individual marker. Kowalczyk does a nice job at splitting. Ryan Flood and Saint at this back post. Great ball back across. An easy finish.
Bartlow's header, and there is the full-time whistle. Houston Dynamo are through to the 5th round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. They left it late. They left it to extra time. But Jack McGlynn's banger got things started.